Welcome to a special edition of Overdrive, here at the Autosport International at the NEC in Birmingham, widely regarded as the world's greatest motorsport show. From car makers to clubs and independent drivers, all important names in the industry are represented here. Throughout this episode of Overdrive, we're going to give you our pick of interviews around the show. So come on, follow me. With Andy Noble?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
If you don't mind, if I can ask you a couple of questions about your new car, the CPR, is that correct?
Close.
Close.
Close. It's an SP 300R.
SP.
A Caterham-Lola SP 300R. 300 is horsepower, R stands for race, and SP is sports prototype.
Right, excellent.
I'm going to test you on that later.
Okay, I'll try and remember. So, tell us more about it. What separates it?
Well, it's a new car for us. We're famous for doing the 7, the car we're sat in now. But commercially, we need to diversify. We need to look at other products. We've searched the market as to where we think we can best fit in, and we've come out with the Caterham-Lola SP 300R, which is a race car, a track day car. And it's at Caterham we have a motorsport ladder. We introduce new people into motorsport and we take them through the motorsport ladder. And at the moment, when they get to the top of it, they pop out and they go and do Porsches or Ginettas. Now they've got a method to stay with Caterhams and move into the SP 300R, which is it's a proper race car.
Yes. So you are moving away from the 7 series. Are you planning on developing any more with the 7?
We're not moving away from the 7. The 7 is our core market, and because we've been so successful with the 7, that's allowed us to diversify. But the 7 is our core market. We will continue to develop the 7. It's just over 50 years old now, and it will be here for the next 50 years. We've got some great things coming for the 7 in the next 12 to 18 months.
Did you face any challenges along the way?
Lots and lots. I mean, that's, building anything in the UK is always a challenge. It's not the easiest way to make money. But if it was easy, life would be dull. So and everyone else would be doing it. So we're up for challenges.
Yes. Would you call the new racing car your proudest achievement so far this year, or?
Certainly this year. I mean, in the history of Caterham, we've developed the 7. We don't come out with anything radically new, or haven't to this point. So unveiling this car at this show was a fantastic moment because we kept the car secret. There were no pictures of it anywhere prior to its launch. Yes. And just to watch people's faces as we uncovered it, and the surprise on people's faces looking at it going, my word, Caterham has actually stepped up a notch.
It really has, the sheer size of it compared to the size of, one of these.
And also the integrity of it. We've worked with partners such as Lola, who are just fantastic to work with.
Yes.
And we've created a proper race car, and we're delighted with it.
Excellent. Well, what are your plans for this upcoming year now?
Right, well, first of all, we have to create the one-make series for the SP 300, which will start in 2012. We need to sell out all 25 of those for the grid. My target is May, and we've done 5 at the show so far, so we're well on the way to doing that. Once we get out of the way, we'll then develop a track day version of it, and then also running alongside that, we've got developments of the 7 that we've got to work at. So we'll be busy people this year.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Right, let's go.
So how was 2010 for you?
2010 was a very good year for us. We do spread ourselves very wide across the motorsport spectrum, running from British Touring Car Championship at one end down to humble grassroots motorsport at the other. And the sport as a whole kept its strength through the whole of the year and ended quite well considering the global economic situation. It's always going to be difficult in this industry, but we fared well.
Excellent. Were there any particular challenges that you had to face?
Not really. Keeping people's enthusiasm to come out week upon week when they are struggling to keep a loaf of bread on the table sometimes is quite difficult. But I think we managed it quite well.
Excellent. And do you have any plans to make it bigger in 2011 at all?
Well, I think our plan has to be to consolidate everything that we're doing and make it stronger, because I'm absolutely sure we've not seen the bottom of the downturn yet.
Do you have a proudest moment or memory that sticks out in your mind over the year?
I think we're proud of everything we do. You know, nothing really sticks out as an absolute pinnacle. We are probably the oldest racing club in the world. We're 100 years old next year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we are generally proud of where we are, what we do, and how we do it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
What is Go Motorsport?
Go Motorsport is the first centrally coordinated campaign for motorsport anywhere in the country, and I think I'm right in saying anywhere in the world. It's basically an umbrella program to try and get all motorsport of every discipline, including volunteers and spectators, under one roof. It's a website-based campaign, and we aim to come to these shows just to try and show to the general public how to get involved and show that it's not going to cost you multi-millions of pounds or hundreds of thousands of pounds to take part.
Okay, great. So how was 2010 for you as a year?
2010 has been fantastic. We only started about 3-4 years ago. Over the last year we've been working with some regional development officers. We've got 10 around the country. We're now going into schools and we work closely with them to try and show different ways of getting involved in the engineering and not just the participating side of the sport, because it is a team sport, and there's the engineering side, there's marketing side, there's the sponsorship side. So we've got those guys going into the schools, it works in with their curriculum. So yeah, that's been the main drive for this year, and we're going to a lot more events like this and Goodwood with all our ambassadors. They've been very helpful trying to give us free areas so that we can sort of show everyone that it is an accessible sport. 2011, I think we are still continuing with the regional development officer side of the campaign. Obviously, we want to try and get more people. Over the last couple of years, it's very much been trying to get our name there. The MSA is keen to get more people racing, obviously, but at the same time, we want to show that it's the academic side of the sport as well as the sort of the physical side.
Okay. And so, for anybody who is planning on looking into motor racing, how do you go about giving advice to them?
Well, from our perspective, Go Motorsport campaign is an internet-based campaign, basically. Obviously, we're out there to help and answer questions. But our website, www.gomotorsport.net, you can go on there. There are 3 sections to it. You have the Go Drive, Go See, Go Help sides of it. Go Help is the volunteers of motorsport. Motorsport wouldn't exist if we couldn't have our volunteers, so we have that section. The Go See is going spectating. Hundreds and hundreds of events taking place across the country throughout the year. And then the Go Drive section, and that shows you all the different disciplines, everything you can see around you and at the show. Shows you the different venues, your local clubs, how much it costs to get involved, what equipment you need. So it really is a sort of a guide for any questions you have, from right at your first how do I get involved to how much is it going to cost per championship. We can answer your questions.
Tom, thank you very much for that.
No problem.
The British Championship has gone really well this year, and it looks good for next year. But we're more interested in the Freelander Challenge, because this is a new concept, and we've got together, and what we've done is involved a couple of colleges as well and made it work. And I'm just the front man and make sure that everything works all right. But I think it's up to Chris to tell you what the technical side of it's about, Chris.
Well, the Freelander Challenge, the technical idea is it's cheap, affordable motorsport. We all know motorsport's not cheap anyway, but if you build the car yourself, we have managed to build a car not including labour for under £2,000 to be competitive in the Freelander Challenge. You know, part of it's the luck of the draw, finding a suitable donor car at the right price, but if you go on the website, which is Marches 4x4, there are some links to the Freelander Challenge site, and it's an entry-level option to allow people to do cross-country events, as Selwyn said, hill rallies and stage rallies with the same vehicle at a cheap or relatively cheap option.
But if there are any other colleges out there in South Wales,
or anywhere else in the country that want to have a go, it is affordable, it is manageable, and it's a project that can be run through the college to build the cars and to compete.
Thank you very much. Thanks, that was great. Well done.
I'm here with David Hornsey, who is willing to talk to us about Britcar. David, this is going to be the first year as the British Endurance Championship. What challenges would that set you?
It's something that's come about with our work with the MSA. We've been the Motorsport Association for Britain. We've been talking to them for a number of years about the lack of professional endurance racing in the UK. Obviously, Britcar's been running as an endurance championship for a number of years now. But to be given the MSA title of the British Endurance Championship is a big honour for us, and it shows that their faith in what we've put in. We've got championships such as British GT, which have been running similar types of cars that we do, but they tend to run much shorter races. And even when you go into the European scene, the FIA GT Championships are all only hour-long races, whereas our races are all 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hour races. So it gives much more of a training ground to those people that are looking at doing longer races abroad, such as Le Mans, Daytona 24-hour, Nürburgring, that kind of thing. From the challenges point of view, with the MSA being so closely involved, obviously they want to make sure that we're doing everything correctly, so we've got a much higher level of officialdom sort of taking an interest in us, so we've got much more international clerks and international level representatives that are just making sure that everything that's done is done by the book, so just making sure that we get all our paperwork done right.
So tell us more about the V8 Youths Championship. What's that all about?
It's a new initiative for 2010. It's got the backing of Vauxhall and Holden in Australia. It's launched as a full one-make championship within the British Isles. Vauxhall are going to supply as much backing and promotion as they can to the series, and the idea is to get the Australian Utes, the 6.2 litre pickups, V8 powered. They're about 420 horsepower each. There'll be an identical field of about 20 cars. They'll come over. There'll be 3 40-minute races in a weekend for the drivers, a mandatory pit stop in each race so they can share the car with another competitor if they want to, and it'll just be a chance for some low-cost but high-profile door-to-door racing. And something new, something we haven't really seen in the UK for a long time. Everyone loves the sound of a V8 and everyone loves cars going sideways, and it's just something to bring that spectacular side of motorsport back again.
And finally, do you have any advice for anybody wishing to take part in anything like this?
Absolutely, it sounds corny, but follow your dream. I'm the same. I didn't come from a wealthy background, but I always wanted to go racing and be involved in motorsport, and I've managed to do a bit of racing, working behind the scenes in Britcar as well, and it's great. Just gets you involved in the action. Anything from being a marshal through to actually being a driver, you get such a great involvement in the sport, and just keep knocking on doors, asking questions, volunteer your services to people, and make yourself useful, and you'll get somewhere.
David, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, how has Silverstone gone for you in the past year?
Massive changes for us, a huge amount of development, as you can see from the new pit complex, which will be open in May for this year's Grand Prix. As you saw from last year, a new circuit for us for the Grand Prix, but more importantly, phase 2, if you like, of the Grand Prix circuit for this year is finished with the opening of the new paddock and the new start line. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting for us.
As a racer, have you tried out the new track?
Yeah, done plenty of miles on it on the Arena Circuit Grand Prix last year, yes. And yeah, it's great because the old Grand Prix circuit was a real flowing circuit, so you're always worried when there are changes, but they put a lot of work into it, and you've got old meets new. You're going to Abbey, and the new Abbey corner just flows into Village, and the loop is a great overtaking opportunity. But more importantly, it's great for spectators with the grandstands where they are. You see the cars, and then of course you get then catapulted down a very long straight, which then joins National Straight down to Brooklyn. So it's rejuvenated the circuit. It's good, you know, it's over 3 miles, and one of the longest Grand Prix circuits on the calendar now.
Fantastic. Well, and finally, can you describe to me your career in 5 words?
Oh, well, I'm sure some of my sponsors who put millions of pounds into it would say disappointing, but it's had its highs, it's had its lows, and I wish any young racing driver my kind of success, you know. I think probably winning Palmer Audi would be my highlight, and you know, it's been great. I've loved every minute of it.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Is that
for
5 words? I don't know.
time.
So.
It was worth the extra words. But thank you very much, and all the best for the future.
Thanks so much. Take care, guys. See you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.